Sajitha, this video is for you. I saw your message and what you're struggling with. I see that you've spent the last 3 to 4 months trying to break through to the social housing and temporary accommodation sector. I see that you've sent 500 emails to providers and you still haven't got your first partnership. First, can I just say this? Credit to you. That's absolute persistence. That certain level deserves absolute respect. Most people quit after 10 emails. So the issue that you're facing is not the effort. The issue is strategy. So in this video, I want to show you exactly how to enter into the social housing sector, and I'll show you if I was starting this again today. And for anybody else watching that's trying to break into this sector as well, hopefully you find value in this and it will give you a clear direction to go on and take action after. So a lot of people trying to enter into the social housing space are doing this completely backwards. They're trying to find a property first. Then they try and find someone to put in that property. But the correct order is the opposite. You onboard a provider first. Then you find a property that meets their requirements. If you skip that simple step, then you end up sending hundreds of emails that do not lead anywhere because providers have no reason to engage with you. So let me show you visually how this system works, because once you understand this structure, everything will become a lot clearer. So this is the council. The council have people who urgently need housing, and that can be families, domestic abuse victims, care leavers, people with disabilities. Then we have the providers. The council works with providers who house and support those people. These are supported living providers or temporary accommodation providers. But the point is, they specialize in care. They do not specialize in property. This is where you come in. You are the property specialist. You find properties that match exactly what the provider needs to house these types of people. Then you have the final party, the landlord. So you are going to secure property from the landlord on a long-term agreement. Then the provider leases the landlord's property and puts their service users inside it. So here's a typical example. Okay, so let's say the landlord is looking for $1,850 for their property. The provider might be paying $2,700. The difference is your profit. You facilitated that transaction. The difference between that and that is your profit. So that's £850 per month. Over a 3-year agreement, that is more than £30,000 from one property. Now the key mistake that people make is they start here. They find a property first, but the correct place to start is here. You need to understand what the provider needs first, then you go and find the property. So providers aren't looking for random houses. They need properties that meet specific requirements. That might be 3 beds, 4 beds, 5 beds. Does it need parking, good transport links, good garden space, accessibility features, specific bathroom ratios, bathrooms upstairs, bathroom downstairs. Until you understand their requirements, you cannot help them. And if you cannot help them, then your emails will simply just be ignored. So Sajitha, this is what I want you to do. Instead of focusing on sending hundreds of random emails, I want you to focus on targeted discovery. And here are some practical ways to identify providers operating in your area. Search the CQC register for supported living providers. You can also use Google and search for terms like supported living provider, assisted living services, mental health accommodation, or emergency housing providers. Third thing you can do is contact your local council, get in touch with the homelessness department, and ask which providers they currently place people with. And lastly, speak to letting agents and ask which supported living organizations they're currently working with. Once you identify providers, your job is to not pitch them. Your job is to understand them. Here are the questions you need to ask providers once you do get on the phone with them. What areas are they expanding into? What property types do they need? How many bedrooms? What rent budgets do they work within? What compliance standards must a property meet? Now you have real demand data. And guys, that will change everything. Now you're on to kind of step number 2. Now you're not guessing. Now you're solving a real requirement. And that should do something in your mind. You've got a customer waiting. Now is your chance to go and solve their problem. Like, that should really motivate you, ignite a fire in your ass to be like, okay, here's my opportunity. So now you know exactly what they need. You go to the property market. Now you're going to be using platforms such as Rightmove, OpenRent, Gumtree, Facebook Marketplace, letting agents. Now when you're speaking to landlords and estate agents, you say something completely different. Now you can say that you're working with a supported living provider who needs these exact property requirements. You're being very specific in your search. Notice that there's never a pitch here. You're not pitching anything. You're offering a solution. So if you are currently in Sajitha's position, here is a simple action plan I'd like you to follow. Go out and identify 10 providers in your local area. Email them first what you're about and then immediately phone them. Ask them those discovery questions and find out their property requirements. Make sure you're documenting all of the information they're giving you. Don't rely on remembering how that phone call went. Write it down as they're talking to you. Now you need to identify the property types that they need. Then start sourcing those exact properties. When you find a suitable property, your next job is to connect the provider to the landlord. This is when things are really starting to move now. So Sajitha, hoping this video has helped and gave you a bit more clear direction going forward. Your persistence is clearly there. Just channel that into the right moves. It's simply all about just applying the right strategy. Understand providers, build the relationships, then source that property that meets their needs. That is how you break into the social housing space. So listen, if this video helped you understand the social housing strategy and you're trying to make moves and you want help implementing this strategy, then head over to my website. Go to the mentorship tab. If you feel my mentorship can help you build the property business that you're wanting to build, then book a call with me and we'll see if working together is the right fit.